Nowadays I work to the future. Work's what I'm used to, but I'm out of work now. So now my time gets spent writing words down. Only 24, but still I prefer to swear down.
So, on the right, we have Pete Cashmore! And on the left,
I'm Rikky Wiley. I'm too old for this. I want everyone to be extra nice to me because I did actually get battered on the way down here by a tub of moisturiser. Oh, that's right, rub it in.
Right, so the first round, Pete, you decided to go first, is that correct? Yep. First round on Pete Cashmore.
Richard Wiley, you're about as gangster as Richard Whiteley. You rhyme, shitely, but I do find you amusing, slightly. Me, I'm on some Olympic shit, gold and glorious. And since we're in Warrington, Wolves are victorious.
Yes!
This geek's nerdish. He probably speaks Kurdish. His weak, girlish, peaked verbiage is on some absurdish. And that's where I start chucking on some absurdish. He probably doesn't realise he's got severe Asperger's. He probably doesn't eat meat, only those faggy bean burgers. He probably keeps turtles and sweet gerbils as pets. His meek burbles make pre-sermons sound like verbal Tourette's. He probably hangs with teen virgins, only listens to hip-hop's clean versions, and at night has dream excursions where he becomes a tree surgeon. Rick, you are a spod and a plank. And why are all your songs about you having a wank? At night you'll find him with his Star Wars collection, an erection, jamming his figures up in his rectum. Princess Leia, ankle deep in his rear. He's had every stormtrooper up in his pooper. An entire X-Wing fighter up in his shiter. He took Jabba the Hutt and then he Stabba the butt. He's got 2 Count Dooku, both covered in poo-poo. And his Jar Jar Binks really stinks. 250 figures all covered in shite, plus he's probably the only rapper I could have in a fight. What I'm saying is, Rick Wiley's a dweeb, about as gangster as a slideshow presentation and lecture illustrating the mating plumage and habits of the great crested grebe.
Rick Wiley.
Alright, so you mentioned him with Star Wars figure collection, but I'm just thinking, so what though? Because I'm actually battling from episode 1's Watto. But before first things first, Pete Cashmore is an 8-time champion at Countdown. I think we should all applaud that. Because he did do that back in the era when the main mode of transport was on horseback. You're fat! And he's from Wolverhampton, but I've not written anything for that. You look like Jason Donovan if his face contained a lotto ham. And seriously, I'm not even messing. Everyone keep an eye out afterwards, after this, when we seen this knowledgeless proctologist crying into his stream of piss. He's realised what a fucking knob he is. And that's true, because his main job and hobby is photoshopping tits. If you ever saw a proper woman's wobbly bits, he'd probably shit. He'd be like, oh my god, I'm sorry, what the fuck is this? Someone pass me an airbrush over there, because real women alarm me. But Pete, we all know you've been in Homs more often than the Syrian army. That's why he likes DLA so much, because he loves to scope the boy tits. And your ma is disappointed. You look like your dad dressed as a 14-year-old lad. You look sad. You look like Mark Hamill smelling a fart flannel. Nothing worse than a middle-aged man trying to spit, because you remember 1981, you prick. You spent 2 days preparing for that, you line cunts. Right, next verse. next verse, I get fed up of people going on about battle rap saying it's all like mum bars and shit like that. So the entirety of the next round is about his mum's vagina names. This scummy alley cat's a scally prat, and his mum's fanny flaps frame a massive vast size of the valley twat. The vastness of his mum's vag is weird. I once went down on it, by the time I had finished I'd grown it this big. It turns the proudest of boners into flimsy flops because it gives off an aroma like Grimsby docks. It's taken more cocks than he's had wet dreams about warlocks, and it's so deep and capacious it's inhabited by Morlocks. You chuck a 10p piece into the depths of a gash, you'll have to wait 20 seconds before you hear the splash. And there's so many piercings festooning her flaps, she could retire on the proceeds if she sold them for scrap. And her clitoris ring gives off the bitterest ming. You could die of rust poisoning by taking a lick of the thing. What I'm saying is, stay clear of her beaver. And don't rim her either, because her buffeted bungus is encrusted with fungus, and it's seen more semen than the voyages of Columbus. She likes anal beading till there's near fatal bleeding, and so many hemorrhoids, when you fist it feels like a braille reading. It may have been tight once, but now that's ancient history, because it's simply the epitome of buggered and blistery. It really is an ugly bum, although I'm sure Mrs. Riley is a lovely mum. Shit. Just realised when they told me I should have slagged off her twat and her arsehole, they were talking about her son.
Next round, Rikky Wiley.
Okay. Rikky Wiley. I've read a lot from you recently, Peter. I've heard that god-awful blog about how much you like Peter, which actually has a subplot for those willing to look a little deeper, which is more tragic than the massacres in Srebrenica. See, it's not really about trying to find the ideal margarita, nor is it about trying to find the ideal stuffed crust either. It's about you, sat at home, crying, wanking, and probably shitting, trying to feed the hole in your life because all your girlfriends leave you. But all you need to do is find a girl who doesn't mind knob cheese, an unhygienic slut, and then she'll give you a fanny and she'll let you push it up, and actually when I say it like that, it does kind of sound like it's about a stuffed crust. Now I'm going to say something to all the Nuts magazine models who Pete posts online holding signs. Here's something to think about next time his mates are photoshopping your thighs. Now I'm going to surprise you with something Pete told me. It was after a few pints one afternoon on Bond Street.
God, you bastard.
See, back in the days when he used to write for a porn mag, he had this young model in his office, and she was young and naive, and she thought that this scumbag here could help advance her career. So he dropped his kecks to his ankles and grinned from ear to ear. She sucked him off, and just because she thought she'd get her big break. Now Pete's made millions working for the fucking broadsheets, and she's made a big mistake. I can think of no one that's fucking more pikey. And you are an exploitative cunt when you write, my mum's minge is quite slimy. Time.
When it's really obviously 2-0, what do I do? Right.
Cashmore.
This guy's a white rapper child tapper, a pederast everlast. And I'm going to fuck him like I like to do to a heavy lass. You see, I reckon he was going to come here and talk about me being posh, because I've got a job, I buy my own groceries, and this morning I had a wash. But I had to blag a lift here with just one requirement, to put this permanent student back into retirement. Well, I talk about retirement, but it's abundantly clear. People choose to retire, there's just redundancy here. And since funny hip-hop is the only thing that you do, let's take out your album for a career review.
Yes.
Richard, shit. Sky Plus, shitter. Glitch Scratch, shitter than shit, fucking a shit in the shitter. Vampires, haven't heard it. Fazakali, didn't burn it. Tuna Snatch took it out the CD player and hurled it. The only good track's a Stingray, which you had nothing to do with anyway, and Badman, which is basically a solo track by O'Shea. This knobhead's bang out of order. Bang out of order. if he's claiming boss powers, because nothing he can do can replace the lost hours I spent listening to that album, that unholy fucking pain. And everybody knows the world's already got one golly looking chain. So fuck you, Rick, and your radical clowning. You're the worst Liverpool left winger since Stuart Downing. And fuck Scouse MCs, low down louse MCs, break into your house MCs, take a shit on your couch MCs. Anybody connected to the Limerick Academy, in fact, fuck me for even pointing them in the enemy. Fuck Sprungy, fuck Innuendo, and fuck O'Shea twice. And fuck that calcium kid. Actually, he's really nice.
Final round on Rikky Wiley.
Calling me a pedo, mate, you must be having a laugh, lad, because we all know you've had more captive miners than Chilean cave collapse. You look like Martin Clunes reflection in spoons. You look like the entire cast of Men Behaving Badly. Like a fat, sad, retired Rick Astley. In fact, there's one more way you remind me of that one-hit wonder as well, because I've always seen your face popping up on YouTube when I want to be watching something else. Maybe that line was a bit lame, but I don't know, I'm from the 80s generation. I don't have your air of desperation or the rape allegation. I would never say that Pete Cashmore is a rapist. All I'm saying is, the woman he raped dead. Claiming a stalker ruined your life, lad, that is just nonsense, because there's one thing keeping you up at night, and that's your conscience. Women say to Peter, stop! Don't penetrate me, stop! It really hurts! And Pete just carries on thinking, penetrate? That's a 9-letter word. I'm going to talk to Peter of the future, sat at home watching this upon a screen. Do it! You don't know what that means. I'm sorry about all this. I'll explain what it all means to everyone. Seriously, I can't even think of how to even fucking end this, so I'm just going to fucking talk about your arse. Because your arse is fucking so almost literally history, but you do have a nice arse, and I like the way you work it. No diggity. You look like my balls, but with eyeballs. But I've got quite nice balls. They're quite small. But I don't even know how to end this. You should sack, rap, and take up mime. You are so old, you remind me of time.
Just realised, when they told me I should have slagged off her twat and her arsehole, they were talking about her son.
Women say to Peter, stop! Don't penetrate me, stop! It really hurts! And Pete just carries on thinking, penetrate? That's a 9-letter word.